On today's show,
Too much basketball. We pick our must-watch games from tonight's crazy 14-game schedule.
in the Up-Down Report, we debate Detroit's playoff chances and whatever is going on in the Kings parking lot.
And they got some really big rings. We'll run through our favorite opening night moments.
It's Wednesday, October 28th. The starter starts now.
Good evening, Sweet World, and welcome to The Starters. Whether you're listening to the podcast or watching us on NBA TV or YouTube, we're happy to have you. I'm J.E. Skeets, and alongside me, as always, that's Tass Mellis.
It's 7 o'clock on the dot in some time zones.
To his right, down the table here, the international man of mystery, Lee Ellis.
Friends, Lele.
And last, certainly not least, Starters blog editor and soul man, Trey Kirby. TK.
Hey-o.
Hey-o. There he is. Why, oh why, again, for someone joining us for the first time tonight, are you standing at a completely other desk?
This desk just fits me, you know.
Yeah.
But really, I'm over here checking Twitter, which is where we found this video of Josh McRoberts just playing with his gorgeous, gorgeous hair. It's from the Heat's intro video this season. We're looking for your best captions tonight, so tweet us either at Starters or hashtag the Starters, your best caption. We'll get it on the screen. Maybe it'll be something like our guy Chris here who put up a L'Oreal caption.
Yeah.
Because you're worth it. And Josh McRoberts, that hair is worth it. Looking good.
he
That is luscious.
Yeah, that's a long set of locks.
He looks like a vampire.
Yeah, but like a cool
Like a
vampire.
cool vampire. All right, so yeah, get your captions in.
True blood.
For Josh McRoberts there, hashtag the Starters. All right, action-packed show here, so let's get into it. We'll start with a look at the NBA schedule, because it is, well, quite frankly, it's crazy. Yeah, that's right, Doc. It's nuts. We got 14 games on this Wednesday night,
A lot of them.
28 teams playing. So instead of saying who's playing who, we're just going to throw up all 30 logos there, cross out the Hawks and the Warriors. They're not playing. All the other teams are playing, 28. But there are some in particular that we sort of have our eyes on, we're curious about, for whatever reasons, either the matchup or the storyline. That's the Spurs and Thunder, the Knicks and Bucks, and the Nuggets and Rockets.
I'm pumped for Spurs Thunder just to see LaMarcus Aldridge's debut and for the Spurs to quiet the people who think that they can't adapt to an isolation type basketball. You're underappreciating the Spurs if you think that they can't play that way. The San Antonio Spurs are pumped to have a guy that they can just throw the ball to in LaMarcus Aldridge. It's going to make it easier for them. Just because they share the basketball, it doesn't mean that they can't have one guy who scores 20 points. That makes no sense. They move the ball, yes, and they move bodies very well, and that means they're going to be able to get LaMarcus open. And they're going to love it. And I think it also underestimates LaMarcus Aldridge at this point in his career. He's been in the league 10 years. I think he's okay dropping his point total from 24 to whatever it is.
Right.
Kind of like Chris Bosh did. You know, he went from 24 points down to 19 with the Heat. LaMarcus Aldridge is fine with that. You can't underestimate Greg Popovich and what he can do. I don't think that there's going to be any problem moving into this type of style.
What about you, Lee? Do you think, because some people think, well, Aldridge is used to having the ball in his hands, taking his time
And they're going to give it to him.
And the Spurs known for, of course, a lot of ball movement, a lot of cuts, a lot of passing. Do you think there'll be an issue at all, Lee?
Well, I think there will be some teething problems at the start
Yeah.
because the Spurs have never really done this before where they've incorporated a huge free agent signing. They usually build from within. You know, you see that with Kawhi Leonard. He signed the massive off-season extension, and that's usually how the Spurs operate. But LaMarcus Aldridge, you mentioned, at this stage of his career, he wants to compete for a championship. That really wasn't happening for him in Portland. So he's going to San Antonio where he knows he's probably going to win 50, 55 games. He's going to be one of the top seeds in the Western Conference. He just wants that shot. He'll do whatever it takes to put himself in the best position to win.
Do you think this is a year that we could see Kawhi Leonard take another step? I know he won Defensive Player of the Year last year, and he's been great for a little while. But I think last year, I remember we were in the preseason saying, wow, maybe this is where Kawhi really takes to another level. And he was great. Don't get me wrong, there were injuries, of course. And again, he got the DPOY. But he didn't really go to that level that a lot expected. Maybe this is the year?
Well, they're definitely going to go to him more and more, and people just think that, yes, this is a team that moves the ball, but they've already been going to Kawhi in ISO situations more and more, too.
Right.
They're moving to that style. Like they went with Tim Duncan and David Robinson, just those two guys, slow it down. I mean, they're not going to slow it down like crazy, but they're going to go to Kawhi. They're going to go to LA in ISO situations. Kawhi's not hit his prime yet. Not even close. He's inching towards that, and they know that the future, this two-headed monster, is Kawhi and LaMarcus. I think the question is the backcourt. Can Tony Parker support him? And I think this is great for Tony Parker. No pressure. The pressure's on Kawhi and LaMarcus. Tony Parker is what now? I mean, the third or fourth option on this offense.
That's fair, but do you think the Spurs could, let's say, win a championship with a banged up or at least regressing Tony Parker, which we saw at times, of course, last year. He didn't look good in Euro basketball either. Do you think they could still win a title without Tony Parker playing sort of at the elite level that we know he can?
Oh, I do, because it's the San Antonio Spurs, and they
Really?
don't. They
You
never.
really believe that?
Yeah, they do,
In
because
the
they
West,
don't. They don't
against all
have.
those point guards?
For them, it's not about like, well, he's out, that's an excuse. They just get the next person up to fill into that role. Patty Mills is back this year, 100% healthy. I'm not saying he's Tony Parker, but everyone seems to be able to slot into a different position and make it so that they don't miss that player so much.
Yeah.
Tony Parker's brilliant.
Kawhi can handle the ball. If it comes down to it
Yeah.
and you need to run a pick and roll, Kawhi can do that.
Yeah, but he's not the same as having Tony Parker, who's
No.
like one of the best pick and roll players
Yeah.
we've seen in the past 10 years. His free throw rate and his field goal percentage have declined the past 2 seasons.
It
He's
has.
getting older. They need him to initiate their offense, no doubt.
I'm pumped like everyone else to see what Pop does with LaMarcus Aldridge as sort of maybe even now a focus of their offense. But they gave up some depth
Yeah.
to get him. They really did. And Marco
they're still
Bellinelli,
deep.
Corey
They're
Joseph,
still deep.
they're yeah, you're right. But some of those guys, Patty Mills has to be huge.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
good that he's back and he's healthy, but I don't know, question marks surrounding this team. Not really getting
They've
into
won titles with Avery Johnson at the point.
Yeah.
And not to put Parker
game
and
has
Avery.
changed.
They can. You can rely on LaMarcus to score 25, and they're going to love it.
It should be a great game. Spurs and Thunder, we talked a lot about the Thunder on yesterday's show, but let's move on. Knicks and Bucks. You're excited about this game, Lee, especially you. You were like, of all the games, you
Yeah.
really wanted to focus on this one. I was a little perplexed.
Well, I really want to see what Kristaps Porzingis, all the rave is about with him, because
Right.
I think, it's silly to compare him to Dirk and Powell. That's just silly. But he has got a pretty unique skill set. He's a pretty comfortable guy standing out here, knocking down the three-pointer.
So did Andrea Bargnani.
Yeah, but he's also comfortable going into the post, and even though he's a thin guy, he's actually stronger than he looks. Like, he doesn't get bullied out of the way too easily. The Knicks picked him number 4. They think he's the future.
Yeah.
He's going to start tonight. We don't know how many minutes he's going to get. He's going to struggle. He's going to miss a few shots
Foul
throughout the
trouble
season.
always could be an issue
turnovers
with a
and
big
things
guy,
like that.
rookie, yeah.
But he really seems to me like he's a confident guy. He has total belief in his own skill set, and I think he is going to be a decent player this season.
You know who's confident? You are. In Kristaps
Well,
Porzingis.
look, I was sceptical at the start, at the draft especially.
Right.
I was like, I don't know if this is the right pick for the Knicks, especially with Melo at the stage of his career that he's at. But having watched him a little bit at Summer League and I watched in the preseason games as well, and I know you can't take too much out of those, but for a rookie, you can just see how he uses his body and how his confidence was, and I thought he was okay.
I love how he's starting with 4 vets.
Yeah.
And he's not being thrown into the fire like a Bargnani.
Yeah.
He's starting beside Calderon, Aflalo, Melo, and Robin Lopez. And he can make mistakes. And he can play 20 minutes. And this is New York, and there's going to be a lot of spotlight, and that's
Yeah.
what I'm worried about. But at the same time, he's not expected to do much.
I'm just a little worried if he does struggle, what we might get from like a Carmelo Anthony when he gets asked about it after the game and he just wants to be honest. They ask him about Porzingis possibly. And I'm not saying he's going to struggle tonight, but like he's going to have games where he goes,
Yeah.
whatever, 3 of 15. The media's going to ask Melo, and I'll be intrigued to see how Melo responds. I really will. I guess what I'm saying is I'm curious to find out what Melo really thinks of this guy.
Yeah, well, this is a big season for Melo and himself, because if they start off struggling again, let's say they go 4 and 5 and 15 or something, I wouldn't be surprised if Melo does look to move, because he wants to compete for a championship. It's not happening. It hasn't happened the last few years in New York. He needs to go now if he's going to do that.
One more little thing from that game, too. Greg Monroe angle.
Yeah.
Greg Monroe deciding not to go to the Knicks in free agency. Goes with Milwaukee. That shocked a lot of people.
Especially because the Knicks, we always see them as a glamour destination, and Greg Monroe had the opportunity, decided he's going to go to Milwaukee because he felt they're in a better position to
Greg
win now.
Monroe.
But also, you remember in the playoffs last year against the Chicago Bulls, the Bucks really struggled to score, and Greg Monroe is that guy. He's not a 20, 25-point guy. He's more a sort of 16 to 18 type of guy, but he's a good, solid, reliable option, and I think the Bucks are really going to try to go to him a lot this season.
I'm excited for a lot of games tonight. I like that Wolves-Lakers games because we got the number 1 and number 2 pick in Towns and Russell going at it. I'm intrigued about the Pacers-Raptors as well. But the Rockets and the Nuggets. First off, you start with the Ty Lawson storyline. He's going to be playing his old team here on the first night. Of course, now part of the Houston Rockets after the big trade where the Rockets gave away a lot of bench guys to sort of get him. Had his problems there in Denver near the end. That was not working out.
That was basically for nothing, though.
Yeah, it really was. But he gets a fresh start for really what seems like the perfect team for Ty Lawson to play
Run
on.
and gun, yeah.
Run and gun, get up and down the
Yeah.
court, push it, shoot threes. He can do all that. We've seen it from him before. I'm also intrigued about the Rockets in general. Can they stay healthy? They won 56 games last year. That was without Dwight Howard for half the season. Terrence Jones missed a good chunk of the season. Patrick Beverley down the stretch, not in the playoffs. And they were still, 3 wins
Yeah.
away from going to the finals. I still think a lot of people are sort of sleeping on this team. They're sort of lost in the shuffle of the crazy Western Conference.
They're kind of overlooked.
A little bit.
When people say the Warriors got lucky, it's also like, you played the Rockets in
Yeah.
the conference finals. But I think that's a little confusing. But James Harden, I think, is ready to play with another ball handler beside him.
Yeah.
I think a couple of years ago, he wasn't ready to do that
Yeah.
with Jeremy Lin. But now he's got those individual accolades, and he says, okay, you know what? To win a championship, I'm going to need another guy. I need somebody to help me out. And I'm not sure that James Harden was mature enough to do that in the past, but I think he is ready now.
And
on
when
the-
he was with the Thunder, when he took a shot, he was the kind of player you thought it was going in every time he put it off, and or every time he put it up. Now that he's playing off the ball, it's going to be incredible. He shot 40% on catch and shoot threes last year.
Yeah, it should be good. Michael Malone's first game, of course,
Stir it
coaching
up.
the
Yeah.
Nuggets, and Emmanuel Moody. I mean, all of the rookies in action tonight. That's pretty
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah.
And
It's a
throw
good
Julius
class.
Randle in there as
Yeah.
well, so didn't get to see him barely at all there last year for the Lakers. All right, lots to come. When we come back, the up-down report, it's back. We'll go thumbs up or thumbs down on new jerseys, commercials, and the Detroit Pistons playoff chances. You're watching the Starters. Back with the Starters. Before the break, we asked you, Starters fans out there, to caption Josh McRoberts' long locks. And, well, you guys have done your part. Trey's got a few of the best.
That's right, that hashtag is blowing up. My favorite to start off with it came from Anthony, who says, when you need a haircut, but ball is life, no doubt about that. Also like this from Jake Wrighton, who says, Coach told me to show up to camp well conditioned. Well, the shine
Oh, that's
speaks for
good.
itself.
That's good, Jake.
And a great pun coming in from OG Mayo, who just simply says, Posh McRoberts.
Yeah, those all work.
Good stuff.
Keep
Pick up
'em
that
coming.
Hashtaggers.
Keep them coming. Lee, you gonna grow your hair out this season?
I used to have it long, but
You used to
no.
have long hair?
Yeah, not quite that long, but it was just as glorious.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. All right, let's get into the up-down report. It's very simple. We figure out where the four of us stand on some hot-button NBA topics.
Very
Thumbs
Dr.
up,
Evil.
thumbs down. Yeah, it did feel like Dr. Evil. I just saw that goal member today. All right, first one here. Up or down on the Pistons' playoff chances. Had a big win. It was game one. Let's not go overboard here. But went into the Fortress, beat the Hawks there, 106-94, killed them on the glass. Are you sold on one night after watching the Pistons' playoff chances?
I'm going to say no to playoff basketball in Detroit. Let's not overreact to one game where the Pistons got open shot after open shot after open shot. Look at this bad defense from the Hawks. This was just a porous game from the Hawks. I think it's more about them than it is about the Pistons. And actually, the Pistons didn't play all that well. They shot 38% in
That's
this
true.
game where
That's
they
true.
got open look after open look. The Hawks just weren't ready to play in this post-Amari Carroll era. They were just scrambling all over the place. At that three-point line, they left open shooters everywhere. I think there's a starting lineup change coming with them.
But that's
It
what
doesn't
Stan
matter
Van
if you
Gundy
shoot
wants.
38% because you have Andre Drummond grabbing every single offensive rebound. I'm a little bit up on this, the Pistons making the playoffs, just because why couldn't they make a 7th or 8th seed? That's not a ton of wins
could.
you need, and they basically have a Stan Van Gundy team right now. They don't necessarily have the talent of an old Magic team, but they have the right pieces, and they just look like they make sense now.
I'm with you on that. He's trying to build your 09 Magic
Yeah,
team here with
sure.
Drummond as your Dwight Howard inside, all the shooters out there. Whether or not they make the playoffs, I'm up on the Pistons in general just being a watchable team again. They've been one of the most boring teams to watch over the last 5 or 6 seasons. It's been tough to get up to watch a Pistons game. I found myself watching it this morning. Like we got the chance to watch that one. I was into it.
Yeah.
I really was. And they didn't even play that well.
No,
But they've
they
got
didn't.
some pieces now.
Cordwell Pope was fantastic for them. It's a big year for
KCP.
him because he's been in and out of the starting lineup off the bench a lot of times. But now this could be the season for him under Stan Van Gundy where he really explodes.
I think you're going to see some of the old Pistons, though, where they get to the end of the shot clock and they don't know what they're doing. That happened a lot against the Hawks, and Drummond grabbed a lot of boards because the Hawks were undersized and scrambling. No doubt about that, but he was also 0 for 7 in the post. He still has to work on that post game.
Yeah.
Let's not compare him to Dwight Howard.
No,
quite
I'm
yet.
not. But
He's-
hold on. Pistons were what, a 500 team after the whole Josh Smith letting go?
They could make it.
That's a playoff team
Yeah.
in the East, so they're looking good right now. Of
We
course.
just couldn't all put our thumbs up.
I know, you're right.
I'm a little skeptical.
All right, that's
Just-
fine.
It's just one.
That's fine. All right, next one here. Play along at home. Hashtag the Starters, up or down. The Miami Heat alternate jerseys. They just released 3 different alternates. We're a little torn on this. We've got Trey down. Tass Lee, you're up, and I am right in the middle.
Yeah, what
I'm
are you doing there?
That's a classic Lee Ellis answer. I'm not thumbs up. I'm not thumbs down.
I like this
sit on the
three-toned
fence.
almost.
I love
Yeah,
this
this
one.
one
This
is
one,
great.
the legacy,
Yeah,
they're calling
the
it.
one jersey they got right here.
Yeah, the
throwback.
throwback is the best. The legacy,
That's
as Tass
beauty.
called it. I wasn't a fan of the other one. That's why I'm in the
The
middle.
Heat have had 12 alternate jerseys since 2010. That's too many jerseys. That's why I'm down on these. That's just way too many jerseys for one team to have. Stick to red, black, and white. Maybe throw in a cool throwback every now and
Fine.
then.
But this is a tribute to the armed forces,
Yeah.
this one, so you always got to throw
does,
your
yeah,
thumbs
it-
up to that.
They're going to be wearing these throughout games, specific games, November through February. So you'll be seeing, a lot of jerseys on the Heat. But
They
you like
do a
them
lot
for
of
the most part.
jerseys.
I like them as well. I think they're just nice. They look good. The colours are great. I mean, you're right. They have a
This
lot
guy
of
will
them.
wear anything.
This guy's wearing
I
a
do.
sweater.
Nice one, though, isn't it?
That is a nice one, man. All right,
I
up
like
or
to mix it
down,
up.
up or down on Russell Westbrook's new Mountain Dew ad. I hope everyone has seen this. I think it debuted last night during the broadcast. It features a lot of Russell Westbrook, of course, gliding around in his new power stance.
It's called the power stance.
Yeah, we've got well, we're torn on this one too. Tass and I like it. Lee and Trey, you're down.
I don't mind the ad itself. It's just the product he's endorsing.
Oh,
Russ.
right.
It's not about the
No,
product.
it is.
Jesus,
It's totally
Lee.
about the product. He doesn't need to drink that. Russ is already hyped up enough.
That's why I'm also down. Lee talked me into giving up pop, and I'm with him.
Okay,
He
what about
loses electrolytes during games.
Well, he doesn't need to drink that then if he's losing electrolytes.
He's
Drink
not
water.
drinking it. He's just holding it.
Yeah, well.
I love the stance, though.
Yeah,
Who's not up on the stance?
That's
It's really
got
good.
Captain Morgan written all over it.
No doubt.
It's gonna go far
Captain
and
Morgan
wide.
meets the Riddler.
Yeah, it's sort of a last-minute Halloween costume.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook in the power stance. All
If
right,
you just
final
happen to
one
have
here.
a green suit, no big deal.
Final one, up or down on the Sacramento Kings robot cop. Okay, I hope you saw the photo. Kings owner Vivek Ranadive posted this photo to Twitter yesterday. The caption, "Meet our newest addition, Nightman. He will keep you safe." Now, it turns out that this is like a robotic security guard made by like a Silicon Valley startup called Nightscope. So, what do you think? Again, we're split decision here. A couple ups, a couple downs. Why are you guys down on this?
A little too minority report for me to have
like
a little
it.
robot creeping around, looking at everything you're doing. I like my privacy.
The
Lane?
problem is as well, people won't just let that robot do its job. They're going to be running up, trying to take selfies, trying to put stuff on it, trying to throw stuff at it. The robot's going to have a meltdown.
It's a robot.
Yeah, that's exactly. People don't just go, oh, there's a robot, I'm just going to walk off here. They're going to go, oh, what does that robot do?
Yeah,
They're
but
going
then
to
the
go
robot
chase it
won't pay
around.
attention to them.
Yeah.
It's a
I
robot.
am-
You got to embrace the future. This is the future right here.
So up on this. I'm so disappointed to hear you guys are down because I'm so up on this, and I just like the idea of safety first. We got a new studio here. We need someone to sort of keep an eye on it. So we got ourselves our very own. Now, we couldn't afford a Nightman. Those things are expensive, but we do have the Danbot 3000.
Oh, all right, nice.
Does the same job.
All right, I changed my mind. I feel very safe now.
Yeah,
it,
exactly.
yeah.
Look at this.
Beep.
We're completely fine.
Beep.
Oh, it's gonna. Don't hit the camera. Ah,
Beep.
Maybe you should go to
Have you
Sacramento.
calibrated this?
Yeah.
no, it's like a Roomba.
it just goes.
Yeah, it just bumps into
Beep.
things, turns
Beep.
around. So we're fine. All right, good stuff. We got lots more coming up on the
Be careful
starters.
with that sit, Danbot.
Beep.
You're no Jan the Pelican.
We're gonna run through our top 5 moments from Tuesday's NBA opening night. So come on back. You watch the starters. Someone power that. Back to the starters, and I know we're looking ahead to tonight's crazy NBA schedule, but let's relive the top 5 moments from last night's opening night.
At number 5, the Warriors accepted their championship rings and they sang Drake and Future's Big Rings. Lee, you know this song?
No, I don't actually. Not.
I got a really big team. They need some really big rings. And when people said the Warriors got lucky for winning the championship, Andrew Bogut said he was going to get his middle finger fitted for the ring.
Nice,
And that he
So
did.
good.
It's unbelievable. At number 4, the Warriors had some special merchandise made for last night's opener. They printed and delivered T-shirts clowning TNT's Charles Barkley for
What a
now
good
having fewer championships than jump shooting teams.
At number 3, dying seconds, Cavs Bulls. Pau Gasol stops LeBron James tying attempt. LeBron James said, quote, "I made myself very small." He did look unrecognizable. That's what pow, 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 pow happened.
Huge block. Number 2, this was during halftime of that Cavs Bulls game. We were on TNT overtime, and we thought, hey, let's have a dance party. If you can call this that.
Oh, yeah.
There's the David
Oh,
Brent.
David
from Lane.
Brent.
We did this for 8 minutes. Some of us nearly passed out. Tass nearly turned into Weekend at Bernie's.
They're all completely brand new moves, never seen before.
Dancing to the
Probably never
inside.
been seen again
The
either.
NBA theme.
8 minutes. That was 16 minutes.
Well, yeah, they only saw 8 minutes.
At number 1, Steph Curry, reigning MVP, walked out to chants of MVP, goosebumps running up and down his non-sleeved arms, and he hit 7 of his first 9 shots, 24 in the first quarter, ended with 40 overall, a magnificent night. This guy is not done getting better, although people are sort of overlooking him
Yeah.
as an MVP
right.
possibility.
I thought he was going for Wilt's 100 last night. in the first quarter.
24 in the first.
And it was the first like 4 or 5 minutes he had most of them. as well.
Oh, he was making everyone dance.
It is a pretty good way to start the season. You sometimes think, yeah, you get your rings. We saw it, they're obviously loving it. They're caught up
Yeah.
in the celebration. You think they might start a little sluggish. He has 24.
Yeah.
in the first quarter. That's crazy.
Well, the
That's when
Pelly's
you start
actually-
texting people
Yeah.
if you're not watching, going, you got to be watching this game. He's going nuts.
Just laughable shots, too.
Yeah.
Pulling up from like 6 feet outside the arc. No big deal, draining him. I also love that Draymond Green picked up a technical in the first game. He's saying, you know what, we won the title last year, but I'm still angry.
Yeah, I'm, like the Warriors have definitely sort of taken all this preseason,
Yeah.
like, hey, they got lucky, and hey, oh yeah, whatever. Are
yeah.
they really that good? They're taking it, I think, very seriously, and I think it's dumb for the rest of the league to have done this because I think they've got something to prove even more now.
Steve Kerr would love it, because he doesn't need to go out there and give them any motivation.
point.
They're getting it all themselves.
That's absolutely right. I just realized the security DanBot 3000 is stuck in the corner, like a
Oh,
Roomba. Yeah, there. Okay,
That's what good security does. You don't notice them.
Yeah, you don't notice it.
Oh, you just
Very
notice them
smart.
now.
At all. It just blends right into the background. It's crazy. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, it's the mighty return of Lee Ellis's very solid play.
Oh, and it's a beauty.
Are your thumbs ready?
They're ready. They're ready.
All right, good. You've been playing a lot of video games?
Welcome back to the starters. Lee mentioned that he had long hair back in the day, so Tarico Suave hopped in the hashtag the starters feed and showed us what it looked like. And Lee, you're right. It did look really good.
Yeah, it was glorious. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
maybe
might
bring
have
it
to bring
back.
it back. Yeah, I might do that.
Can you please do the pose? Oh, it's okay. All right, never mind. We got to get to last night's pick and payoff results. I took the Cavs. Pau Gasol had differing ideas on them winning. So you guys pick up the wins. Taking the
You're
Bulls.
behind. You're behind, Skeets.
I'm behind one. Keep in mind here, the loser at the end of the month, whoever's in last place, let's put it like that, not at the end of October, but the end of November, we'll have to do the pick 'em payoff. We do a lot of weird things here on the show, in case you couldn't tell. So yeah, the loser will either get a pie to the face, or run on a treadmill, or something else. Here's a look at tonight's picks. Ooh, Lee,
Ooh.
the only one taking the Spurs.
Shocker.
Greg Popovich, 17-1, I believe, on NBA opening nights. The rest of us will take the Thunder. All right, Lee, it's been a while.
It's been a while, far too long.
Time for Lee's very solid play of the night, Lee.
The Golden State Warriors aren't only defending NBA champions, they are also very solid Play of the Year champions, so it's only fitting they start off with this beauty last night at Oracle. It came actually after a Steph Curry miss, which was very rare last night, but all 5 of the Warriors touch it. A bounce pass, a layup. That's gorgeous. That's what I call a very solid play.
Oh, it's good to have those thumbs back. All right, guys, stay tuned for Game Time. That's coming up next. We'll be back tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Thanks for joining us, folks. And remember, to save time, automate everything you can in your life. Everything you can. In fact, my voice is automated right now.
Brace the night, people.